But after all, what is a narcissist? I'll answer in a way that I'm sure you'll identify. A narcissist is someone who generally demonstrates an exaggerated view of their own importance, often seeking admiration and control over others. These people can ignore the feelings of others and manipulate situations to satisfy their own interests. Behaviors such as constant criticism, devaluation, and lack of empathy are hallmark characteristics. Dealing with a narcissist can be emotionally draining, but often reveals aspects within ourselves that need to be worked on, such as the ability to set boundaries and inner strength. Have you ever wondered why such a challenging person has crossed your path? Maybe it's a colleague, a close friend, or even someone in your family. What seems to be just suffering may actually have a greater purpose. God, in His wisdom, often allows difficult situations or challenging people to enter our lives to mold us, strengthen us, and reveal the potential we carry within us. Living with a narcissist can be the beginning of a process of learning and transformation. Why would God allow this? Instead of seeing the presence of a narcissist as punishment, consider the possibility of it being a test or a lesson. This coexistence challenges your emotions, patience, and even your faith. Throughout this process, you are called to grow, both spiritually and emotionally. The narcissist, however challenging they may be, can be a reflection of areas in your life that need attention and healing. It is in this confrontation that God prepares you to face greater obstacles and fulfill your purpose. Have you ever faced someone who seemed to constantly test your limits? In this video, we'll explore how this experience can be a divine tool for your strengthening. Discover how to overcome this test with faith and wisdom. Before we begin, like the channel and share it with other chosen ones who need this transformative message. Certain people enter our lives with the ability to challenge us deeply, but perhaps with a purpose that goes beyond what we can immediately perceive. God, in His wisdom, may allow them to be present to reveal hidden areas within us that need attention, transformation, and healing. Narcissists, specifically, can be used as unexpected tools of learning, reflection, and growth. A narcissist is someone who is excessively focused on themselves, prioritizing their needs, desires, and feelings, often disregarding how their actions affect others. They may criticize, manipulate, or belittle you, creating a sense of devaluation. These interactions, although painful, have the potential to reveal vulnerabilities that you may not have noticed before. For example, imagine a situation where the narcissist constantly disqualifies your ideas. If this undermines your confidence, it may be an indication that it is time to strengthen your self-esteem and learn to defend your convictions. Although the narcissist's behavior is not justifiable, it can highlight valuable lessons. The criticisms and manipulations we face invite us to reflect on our emotional responses. Have you ever caught yourself seeking the approval of others to the point of neglecting your own needs? Do you have difficulty setting boundaries? These situations can be uncomfortable, but they also offer opportunities for growth. In the Bible, the story of David and Saul exemplifies how such challenges can be transformative. Saul, consumed by envy, relentlessly pursued David, trying to destroy him. Despite this, David chose not to retaliate with vengeance, but to trust in God's plan. This persecution molded David, teaching him resilience, patience, and an unshakable faith. Similarly, the trials you face with a narcissist can be a spiritual training ground where God works to strengthen your character and prepare you for something greater. A fundamental practice in these moments is self-reflection. Ask yourself, why does this person's behavior affect me so much? What does God want me to learn from this? This process, although challenging, can be incredibly transformative. By turning inward, you begin to perceive your own strength, value your opinions, and understand that you do not need external validation to feel complete. In addition, confronting a narcissist can be an opportunity to learn to set healthy boundaries. Contrary to what many think, saying no is not an act of selfishness, but a demonstration of self-respect. Defining clear boundaries protects your inner peace and prevents toxic behaviors from dominating your life. Every time you set a boundary, you are sending a powerful message. I respect myself, and I expect the same from those around me. God has the unique ability to transform difficulties into tools for our growth. When you trust in His guidance and surrender your challenges to Him, you discover an inner strength that seemed distant before. Dealing with a narcissist can be the catalyst that propels you to become more resilient, confident, and aligned with the divine purpose for your life. Just as David faced Saul's persecutions trusting in God, you too can use these experiences as opportunities to grow. Instead of allowing the narcissist's behavior to paralyze you, see each criticism and manipulation as a step towards your personal and spiritual development. Through these situations, you not only learn to protect yourself, but also become more aware of who you are in God. Remember that God is always by your side. He never wastes a trial and uses every moment, no matter how challenging, to mold you into the image of the plan He has designed. Trust in His wisdom and allow these experiences, even difficult ones, to be a preparation for the future He has in store. If you allow yourself, you will discover that challenges are not obstacles, but tools that God uses to perfect His work in you. These experiences, although uncomfortable, can lead you to a place of strength and purpose. Look at each challenging interaction as a divine lesson, and trust that, like David, you are being prepared for something great. Dealing with a narcissist can feel like a constant test of your patience and self-confidence. These self-centered individuals often disregard how their actions impact others. However, even the most challenging situations can contain hidden lessons and opportunities for growth. What may seem like an emotional storm can actually be part of a process of spiritual strengthening, guided by God to mold and prepare you for a greater purpose. For example, consider Joseph in the Bible, who was betrayed by his own brothers and sold into slavery. In Egypt, he faced manipulation and false accusations, but never lost faith in God. Even in the most difficult circumstances, Joseph persevered and was shaped by these experiences until he became a figure of authority, saving lives during a time of famine. Like him, you can transform challenging interactions with narcissists into lessons that strengthen your faith and character. These situations can be painful, but they can also serve as mirrors that reflect areas in your life that need attention. For example, if someone constantly criticizes your choices and it deeply affects you, it may be an indication that you need to work on your self-confidence. Instead of focusing on the narcissist's behavior, ask yourself, why does this affect me so much? Is there something within me that needs healing or strengthening? This self-reflection can lead you to discover aspects of yourself that need to be strengthened. Perhaps you realize that you have difficulty setting boundaries, or that you seek external validation to affirm your worth. Dealing with a narcissist can be the necessary push for you to learn to say no firmly, without feeling guilty, and to recognize that your opinion and feelings are as valid as anyone else's. Setting clear boundaries is an essential step in this journey. For instance, if you have a coworker who constantly tries to undermine your ideas, setting boundaries might mean responding assertively, showing that you will not tolerate disrespect. Each time you reinforce these boundaries, you are telling yourself, I deserve respect, and I will not accept less than that. Additionally, these difficult experiences can help you develop spiritual resilience, When you face constant manipulation or criticism, you may be tempted to react with anger or resentment. However, choosing to trust in God and seek answers from Him strengthens your faith and emotional maturity. Instead of reacting impulsively, you learn to act with wisdom and grace, reflecting the teachings of Christ in your actions. A contemporary example might be a person who, when dealing with a narcissistic relative, found comfort and strength in God. Instead of severing all ties, they chose to set healthy boundaries, pray for patience, and trust that God was guiding each step. This approach allowed them to not only preserve their peace, but also demonstrate compassion without allowing abuse. These experiences, however challenging they may be, often serve as divine instruments to align you with God's purpose. Just as fire refines gold, challenges can purify your character, strengthen your faith, and help you become the person God intended you to be. Use these opportunities to grow, recognize your worth, and align yourself with the divine purposes for your life. Instead of seeing narcissists merely as obstacles, view them as catalysts for the transformation God desires to accomplish in you. In addition, valuing yourself is a crucial piece of this process. Narcissists may try to make you doubt your abilities or feel inferior, but the truth is that their opinions do not define your essence. By facing these challenges, you discover the importance of loving yourself for who you truly are, and not for what others say about you. This learning involves putting your happiness, health, and well-being first, recognizing that you are complete exactly as you are. Although this journey is challenging, it brings rewards. The difficulties faced when dealing with a narcissist end up transforming into fuel for your personal growth. You stop questioning your worth and start to solidify your position, abandoning harmful relationships and moving towards a life where you are respected and valued, starting with yourself. Living with a narcissist can be compared to crossing an emotional minefield. Although it is an intense experience, it also teaches valuable lessons about emotional intelligence. This skill involves understanding and controlling your own emotions while perceiving and responding in a balanced way to the emotions of others. Narcissists often use strategies such as emotional manipulation, distortions of reality, and temper tantrums to confuse or influence others. Initially, these attitudes can generate frustration or doubt, but over time, you begin to identify patterns of behavior. You learn to distinguish your own emotions from external influences, maintaining calm and focus instead of being carried away by chaos. This process enhances your ability for emotional self-understanding, helping you to recognize your own triggers and respond more consciously, such as reflecting before responding. This skill not only protects your emotional balance, but also limits the influence of the narcissist. You learn to identify signs of manipulation, perceive hidden intentions, and protect yourself from harmful behaviors. These lessons enrich other areas of your life, allowing for healthier and more balanced connections. The challenges brought by a narcissist can be the gateway to a deeper spiritual growth. Despite the pain and confusion that such experiences can generate, God often uses these situations to strengthen your connection with Him. These difficult times serve as reminders that relying solely on one's own strength is not enough. One must rely on divine strength. During moments of emotional tension created by a narcissist, prayer becomes an indispensable support. Whether asking for wisdom to deal with manipulations, strength to set boundaries, or peace amidst the turmoil, prayer opens the way for divine guidance. Through it, you find serenity and the assurance that God is by your side, easing your burdens and fighting your battles. Furthermore, living with a narcissist can sharpen your discernment. Narcissists often use distortions and manipulations to create confusion, making it difficult to perceive the truth. However, by seeking God's guidance, you begin to see beyond appearances and understand the real intentions behind actions. The divine word becomes a light that guides your steps, even in situations of darkness and uncertainty. These experiences not only strengthen your faith, but also teach you to trust fully in God. You understand that you do not need to face everything alone, because by entrusting your concerns to Him, you find peace amidst adversity. The promise that God works in favor of those who love Him becomes more evident as you perceive His plan manifesting, even in the most difficult circumstances. Thus, the journey to recognize one's own worth is an essential part of personal growth. Living with a narcissist, you may feel led to doubt your abilities or even question your value. However, it is crucial to remember that the opinions of these people do not define who you are. Amidst the challenges, the opportunity arises to learn to value who you truly are, regardless of external criticisms or manipulations. This means putting your peace, health, and happiness first, understanding that you are complete and sufficient, exactly as you are. Although dealing with these situations may seem difficult, they offer invaluable lessons. Facing the behavior of a narcissist can become a driving force for your personal transformation. You begin to position yourself more firmly, abandoning toxic relationships and opening up space for connections where you are genuinely respected and valued. This process begins with yourself, learning to take the first step towards healing. Living under the influence of a narcissist is like navigating turbulent waters. Emotions can fluctuate, but these experiences teach something valuable: the importance of emotional intelligence. This skill allows you to understand and regulate your own feelings while responding consciously to the emotions of others. Narcissists often resort to manipulations, distortions, and provocations to destabilize, but over time, you develop the ability to perceive these patterns. Initially, these tactics can cause great frustration or insecurity. However, as you recognize the cycles of manipulation, you learn to distance yourself emotionally. This practice not only protects your peace, but also strengthens your ability to deal with difficult people in different contexts. You learn to observe calmly, respond clearly, and maintain focus on what truly matters. In addition to improving your emotional intelligence, these experiences help refine your ability to discern. Often, narcissists create confusion and disorientation, which can make it difficult to perceive what is true. However, by seeking divine guidance, you begin to see beyond manipulative words and attitudes, recognizing their true intentions. Discernment becomes a compass that helps you avoid emotional traps and preserve your integrity. A biblical example that reflects this process is the story of Joseph, described in the book of Genesis. Joseph faced envy and betrayal from his own brothers, who sold him into slavery. For years, he was unjustly accused and imprisoned, but remained faithful to God. Even amidst pain and manipulation, Joseph grew stronger and maintained his trust in God's plan. In the end, God elevated him to a position of prominence in Egypt, where he was able to save his family and many other people from famine. Like Joseph, you can discover that the trials imposed by others can be transformed into victories when you maintain your faith and trust in God's purpose. Prayer plays a crucial role in this process of overcoming. In moments of emotional pain and confusion caused by a narcissist, prayer becomes a refuge, bringing calm and wisdom. Through it, you find strength to deal with manipulations and courage to set clear boundaries. This dialogue with God renews your confidence that He is in control, carrying your burdens and guiding your steps, even in the most difficult circumstances. Furthermore, these experiences strengthen your faith. You realize that you do not need to face these challenges alone, because God is by your side. The promise that all things work together for good for those who love God becomes evident as you see difficulties being transformed into opportunities for growth. In the end, facing a narcissist is more than dealing with a difficult person. It is an opportunity for spiritual refinement. God can use even the most challenging situations to strengthen your connection with Him, increase your resilience, and guide you towards a future aligned with His purpose. Like Joseph, you can transform adversity into a testimony of faith, grace, and overcoming. It's important to remember that the challenges that arise when dealing with a narcissist don't happen by chance. They are part of something bigger, a process that God uses to shape your journey and align you with the purpose He has for your life. Although these situations can be emotionally exhausting, they bring with them unique opportunities for growth and learning. These difficulties act like a mirror, forcing you to see aspects of yourself that you may have ignored. A narcissist, with their manipulative behavior and constant criticism, can end up exposing your insecurities and weaknesses. But instead of seeing this as something that weakens you, see it as an opportunity to strengthen your self-esteem and set clear boundaries. For example, imagine someone who constantly tries to please others and avoids conflict at all costs. When this individual encounters a narcissist who tests their patience and exploits their kindness, it forces them to learn to say no and prioritize their own needs. This learning is not easy, but it is essential for your emotional and spiritual maturity. God allows these encounters to happen to awaken in you a stronger sense of purpose. It is at this point that you are led to reassess what truly matters. Perhaps it is necessary to abandon relationships that no longer serve your well-being, or learn to rely less on external validation and more on what God says about you. Through this process, He teaches that your strength is not in pleasing others, but in seeking Him as the foundation for your life. Dealing with the manipulations of a narcissist can be like facing a storm. However, these situations have the potential to increase your resilience. Think of Joseph in the Bible, who was sold into slavery by his own brothers, suffered injustices, and was imprisoned on false charges. During those times, Joseph could have given in to bitterness, but he chose to trust in God. Years later, he became governor of Egypt and used his position to save his family and his people from famine. Like Joseph, you can transform adversity into opportunities for growth. When facing the challenges imposed by a narcissist, you also learn to manage your emotions more wisely. For example, instead of reacting impulsively to provocations, you develop the ability to pause, reflect, and respond calmly. This not only protects your peace, but also prevents toxic behavior from continuing to dictate your actions. This ability to maintain emotional balance benefits not only the relationship in question, but positively impacts all areas of your life. These difficult moments also sharpen your discernment. You begin to identify patterns of harmful behavior, recognize signs of manipulation, and make more conscious decisions. A person who previously accepted unfair criticism passively may begin to confront these situations with courage and assertiveness, learning to value their own voice. Furthermore, these challenges connect you more deeply with God. During trials, prayer becomes a powerful tool. Whether asking for patience to deal with a complicated situation, or for discernment to make wise decisions, prayer opens a path to the divine presence in your life. It is in this connection that you find strength to move forward, even when the scenario seems challenging. Another example of spiritual growth comes from King David, who faced numerous trials, including unjust persecutions from King Saul. Even in the face of so many difficulties, David trusted in God and wrote psalms full of hope and faith. Like him, you can use challenges as an opportunity to draw closer to God and strengthen your faith. Finally, sharing your journey can be a source of healing, not only for you, but for other people. Imagine telling your story to someone who is still trapped in a toxic relationship and seeing them find the courage to change. Your story can become a beacon of hope, showing that it is possible to overcome difficulties and build a life aligned with divine purpose. These challenges do not define you, but they shape who you are becoming. God is using every moment to perfect your faith, refine your character, and lead you closer to the destiny He has prepared for you. Even on the most difficult days, trust that He is by your side, guiding you towards a life of fulfillment and purpose. In short, dealing with narcissists is one of the most intense challenges anyone can face, especially those who have a greater spiritual purpose in their lives. However, painful as it may be, these interactions often serve as instruments for personal and spiritual growth. God, in His wisdom, may allow these people to enter your life, not to destroy you, but to strengthen you. A narcissist can be like a mirror, reflecting your vulnerabilities and areas that need attention. By recognizing this, you can transform pain into learning, developing emotional and spiritual resilience. Each challenge overcome reinforces your identity as someone chosen by God, someone called to live above circumstances and align with the divine purpose. Remember that you don't have to face this journey in silence. Share your experiences with others who may be going through something similar. Your story can inspire and bring hope to those who are still in the midst of this battle. And if you've already been through this, leave a comment about how you overcame these challenges. Your victory can be the encouragement another chosen one needs to continue on their journey. God never wastes an experience, no matter how painful it may be. He transforms every obstacle into an opportunity for growth, every tear into renewed strength. When facing the trials that arise when dealing with a narcissist, trust that God is molding you for something greater. Declare with faith, "I am chosen by God, and nothing can separate me from the purpose He has for my life." Lord, strengthen me in my struggles and illuminate my path in the face of difficulties. Give me wisdom to discern, strength to stand firm, and courage to face every trial with faith. May I never lose sight of the purpose You have for my life. Amen. This is a stage of learning and overcoming. Every challenge you face is shaping your character and strengthening your faith. Share in the comments if you've been through this and how you've overcome it, so we can help each other stay firm on the path of God's chosen ones.